Welcome to the Beauty Official Podcast. I'm Evan Ross Katz, podcaster and pop culture provocateur. I can't wait to dive into FX's literally hot new show from writer, showrunner, and director Ryan Murphy about a revolutionary new drug that makes anyone and everyone drop dead gorgeous. Speaking of gorgeous, joining me today to kick off this wild new series is Bella Hadid. I'm so happy to be here with you today. Congratulations on the show.
Thank you so much.
I love seeing you on screen. Model slash actress slash podcast host. A natural trajectory for you.
Done and dusted.
The multi-hyphenate.
Oh, obsessed.
Now, you just had the pleasure of watching the episode for the first time. What was your reaction to seeing that intense opening sequence?
I mean, I literally have the chills thinking about it, Ev. Like, the best part about it for me is I was just so excited to do something that was so outside of my wheelhouse. And to be able to see it really come into fruition and to watch the episode for the first time was crazy. It's interesting to watch yourself like that. It was so exciting to see it actually in real life.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was really crazy.
And what I love about this, I mean, I think it's fair to call it opening scene kind of a rampage. And it's fun because, I mean, you completely set the tone for the series because this begins, we see you walking on the runway, which is a familiar sight.
Right.
But then she exits and then the chaos begins and she's motorcycle up the stairwell.
Yes.
And then all leading up to this explosion, which as we move forward into later episodes, we understand that this will become common, but how did this project get pitched to you? How was the role explained to you?
I got a call and Ryan Murphy, Mr. Murphy, wanted to meet me at Chateau Marmont.
As he does.
As he does, which I love, but also I've never been one to also meet a director at Chateau Marmont. He is the most personable, sweet, amazing person, but also I love his brain. We sat and talked for so long because it was like we had met 100,000 times before. So actually we didn't even start talking about the script for like an hour into our meeting because we were just talking about everything over the moon.
Like, oh yeah, we should also talk about
I was like, we should probably talk about what's going on. But honestly, I think what his vision really was, would you rather be the perfect version of yourself for, 28 days or, 6 months or whatever the version of that is, or be yourself for the rest of your life?
Yes,
Which
is so interesting because I feel like if you ask most people, they're going to say, of course, the latter. Like, I'm good with how I am, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But I feel like we need like a Vanity Fair lie detector test moment with it because I think that there are a lot of people, when it really comes down to it, might weigh the option of like, what would it be like to go on this rampage, as we say, and have a little bit of time and just live the beauty life.
Right. And Ryan, what's so amazing about him, especially when it comes to him on set, is that he kind of goes with the flow and he really starts to like come up with things as it's moving. So what was explained to me when we first sat down for our meeting, things changed so much by the time we were on set. And even when we were on set, he'd be like, actually, let's do it like this. And so I was able to learn so much from him and just being able to be there and seeing him, like he would show me how he wanted me to walk and act. And, I've never worked with an acting coach before. So really being on set for the first day, Ryan was kind of my first real acting coach, and I was just so excited to be able to learn from him. He's brilliant, and it was out of control. I mean, it was really the most incredible experience of my life.
So you've been on sets before, but in what ways was this different from previous sets that you'd been on?
Modeling, especially how I've worked for 10 years, I'm on a different set every single day, and I'm on a plane every single night. And I think what was so beautiful about being on specifically this set was being able to be with people consistently, and it's really a family, and I think that's what's so beautiful is everybody was so kind and so nurturing and so loving and so welcoming. They just made me feel so okay with not having to be perfect. And it's funny because the show is about being perfect, and actually what I learned through it is I don't have to be perfect, I don't have to look perfect, and there's a whole world of experiences that just show you who you are from the inside. Life is about trying new things, and if you don't, it's a disservice to yourself, I guess.
Bella, you're good on the microphone. Let's be co-hosts.
Should we?
That was quite profound. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
Let's talk about the physicality of the role, because it's my understanding that you performed a lot of these stunts. And I mean, we talked about the motorcycle, but like, you are like killing people right and left.
Yes.
And honestly, the distance we just travel with you throughout this scene, it's funny. By the end of the scene, I was like, oh my God. And then there's more. I felt like I'd watched a mini movie. But talk about taking on something so physically commanding.
Yeah, I mean, for me, especially with the stunts, the stunt team was so amazing. They are so incredible. And I think that they really like just being beat up. I've never punched, I wouldn't hurt a fly. So to be able to do this and really go outside of my comfort zone was so much fun. To be able to do all of those different stunts, it's funny because we shot in so many different places, different countries, and when we were shooting it, you don't really know what to expect because I'm not seeing how it's gonna look, obviously, with the FX and all of the incredible things that they do behind the scenes. But it's crazy to watch that episode. I mean, it's thrilling. It's thrilling, I guess.
Yeah. You had to have this conversation with Ryan at the chateau where he's presenting this to you. But did you have a sense after that conversation of what this was going to entail?
I knew that I was going to have to push myself, but I really think that in whatever job I do, I love to do that. To be a character of Ryan's was, I would have done anything for him. So I knew that when it came to this role, I was going to have to be completely, I would have to let loose and just kind of not care about opinions, not care about anything. And I never wanted to do something that I didn't do 100%. It was a lot of physicality.
Now, was that you on the motorcycle?
Okay, well, no. There was two incredible stunt doubles who really taught me so much while we were working together. And they were always on standby, just in case. But they were the ones that did the motorcycle stunts. Since I was 16, before I got my driver's license, I wanted to get my motorcycle license, which is really interesting now. Years later, I think I should have done it because I almost was manifesting this role of having to ride a motorcycle.
No time at the present.
Exactly. So now I think I'm going to have to do it. But when it came to the motorcycle stunts, there were a lot of funny things. Like I would have to hold a rod as if I was holding, just kind of walk up the stairs, which that was really embarrassing to think about. And I'm really whatever this is. I mean, I was on a motorcycle and a rig for 13 hours for multiple days straight. When we'd be going through Paris and all of those different scenes. And, when I get hit by the car. This team was specifically some of the most incredible artists, stunt coordinators I've ever seen in my life. And the opportunity to be there with them and just to watch them work and learn from them was something that I could never have imagined. I was in awe of all of them the entire time.
Let's talk about there's getting hit by the car, knocking heads into glass, putting heads in toilet bowls. I mean, it's just which part for you was the craziest? Well,
you don't really drink out of toilets very often.
I haven't, no.
And let me tell you, we did a lot of different versions of that. I'm glad it ended up just being the splashing on the face. So when I tell you, I'd shoved my head in that toilet bowl a couple times. And now I look back and I'm like, I think they just did that for fun, just because they're like,
will she do it?
Will she do it? She'll do it. Yeah, they just wanted to see how far I would go.
You're like, I'm a yes person.
I'm a yes person. Mm-hmm. I was willing to do just about anything. And I love horror films in general. I love thrillers. I love watching them. So being a part of it, to see those little parts of what happens behind the scenes and how it works, it was so cool. And we can talk about me all we want, but I'm just not the most important person in those 5 minutes that I was in that, in that scene, because every single person that was on that set made that happen the way that it did. And I'm just so grateful. It was, the energy was infectious. The talent was out of this world, to the point of putting tiny little rocks in my arm, to the detail. Then we also had, the prosthetics team. We would just have the best time talking about different things. It was a full Italian team of prosthetic people, and they're so funny. They'd be playing punk rock music the whole time, or between that and Fleetwood Mac, which was really interesting, and they wouldn't really veer anywhere else. So it was kind of you were always just on an up and down roller coaster, which was pretty much, I think, what it's like to be on a Ryan Murphy set.
Let me ask you, because you mentioned the fact that you love horror films.
Yeah.
And this, Ryan Murphy in general, but especially on the show, there is some body horror.
Yeah.
Are you someone that can completely watch that, or do you ever have to look away? Because I had moments when I was watching this show where I was like, I cannot believe I'm watching this, but I'm watching it, but I can't look away.
It's interesting because being on the set, like I said before, it's so different because when I watch real horror films, there are parts where like things get a little grotesque and I'm like, ooh. But for some reason with like just about anything else, I'm pretty good when it comes to horror. I like it. But on this show, it's all fun. Like we're all friends. We're just having fun. We're like beating the poop out of each other and, you know, it's all good. But then you actually watch the show and you're like, that's crazy. And I really look like I'm hurting people.
Now, to close us out, you know, you talked about that initial meeting with Ryan at the chateau. Script comes in, you arrive on set, you have this experience. When you kind of zoom out and look at the whole of all of this, what has this experience meant to you?
Us as human beings, we are so multifaceted. And I guess that's the word. And sometimes we don't know our strengths or don't know how far we can go to be able to experience different things in life. And for something like this, where it was so different than anything I've ever done, I actually was able to look at it and be like, man, I'm proud of myself. It was just such a dream to be able to be on this set.
Well, thank you for being here. Can I say, parasocially, I feel very proud of you. I loved watching you in this. I thought it was just a thrill, and I feel like you completely nailed it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and I had fun with you today.
I had so much fun with you today.
Let's do this again. Now that we're co-hosts.
And now that we're co-hosts.
Yes. Anyway.
It's the Evan and Bella show.
I love it.
See you guys later.
See you guys later. Bella, thank you so much.
Thank you so
what a
much,
pleasure.
Ev. I'm so, so grateful for you. You're the best.